if I look at a load of writing on a test paper or trying to learn that way, I end up just staring at it and then I daydream, and I was labelled a daydreamer. There's nothing wrong with being a daydreamer. You know, daydreamers go on and change the world, man.
It's all about happiness, baby. What makes you happy? What makes you tick?
Yeah, 45 minutes you'll have.
What
so
pace?
perfect. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, because I mean that's the thing to keep in mind as well. Because the reason I started doing this, I actually come from a pitch fest type background. So just to give you a little bit of background in me, I've never been the guy, but I've pretty much filled all of the big events here in the UK. That was where I started. So all of the guys that are out there doing these big free events where they sell stuff, I was the guy behind it all, filling them up for these guys. So that's where I sort of got known in those circles. And, you know, seeing it, I was just like, you know, for me anyway, it's just not how I am. I'm, by the sounds of it, a little bit more like you. I wanted to do something that is no bullshit. There's no fucking like, you know, oh yeah, it's free and then you've got to, here's all the reasons why you should do this. But if you want to learn how to do it, you've got to buy my training. I was like, you know, that don't sit well with me. I wanted to create an event where people come and they get the how, and they get it there and then. And so that's the one thing that I would say to you is what I want every speaker to do is to just drop something that they could immediately take away. So it could be for someone that is the thing that I'm going to take away from this event. And last time what we found was every speaker did that for different people. So one person said that, you know, this person, that I'd learned something off this guy that I could go away and implement, and that's all I'm going to take away, and that's enough. Someone else said another speaker, you know. So as long as there's something actionable and like actual tactics in there, that you're going to be golden, because that's the promise of the event, is no selling whatsoever. So they come there under the premise that they're going to learn stuff just with the money that they pay for the ticket that they can take away and implement into their business.
I want to reach out to people who I think have got great attitudes to life and practice what they preach and walk their talk, especially when it comes to mental health. I don't know about you, but I think that one of the biggest challenges we're going to have over the next few years is people's mental health. And I just kind of, how do you see the landscape of the world right now and how people are thinking and how people are feeling about what's been going on?
Yeah, I think it was a problem before all of this sort of stuff anyway, you know, before COVID and before the recession and before the world sort of went tits up. I think that was a big problem anyway, but I think this has just made it a lot louder and it's definitely intensified it a lot. That's one of the reasons why I do a lot of the, you know, the videos and things like that I do, you know, teaching people about my mindset and how I sort of get through my days, because that is truly the key, I believe, is how strong your mind is to deal with this sort of stuff, right? I mean, life is ups and downs. A lot of the people's out there's problem is that they think that because they're having downs, they're doing something wrong. They've got to accept that life is up and down. That's the experience of living. And I think a big part of them being better in themselves is accepting the fact that it ain't gonna be all fucking sunshine and rainbows every single day. And it's understanding that it's okay to have downs. It's okay to feel shit and like the world's on top of you and all of that sort of stuff. The important thing is to not live there. It's to not constantly be in that place. It's to look for the solutions to get you out of it. And I think that's where a lot of people tend to go wrong. I was terrible in school, awful. I mean, I was a little shit. I'm not going to say that it was the teachers or anything like that. Looking back, I was awful. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I really do believe that especially the traditional school systems now, they just don't cater for that. I was labelled dyslexic. Most entrepreneurs are dyslexic, quote unquote, but based on what a teacher would say. But really, we just have weird attention. Our attention is different. We have different ideas, and we want to be creative, as opposed to sitting there looking at 5 different questions on a test paper. If I look at a load of writing on a test paper or trying to learn that way, I end up just staring at it, and then I daydream, and I was labeled a daydreamer. There's nothing wrong with being a daydreamer. You know, daydreamers go on and change the world, man. So I never read a book, ever. You know, when we were given them, I didn't read them because I didn't care if I failed a test on Of Mice and Men. Like, I couldn't understand how this would help me at all in life. At that point, I was like, look, you know, I'm going to be a bricklayer anyway. Reading Of Mice and Men isn't going to make me a better bricklayer, right? So that was sort of my mindset there. When I got into the personal development stuff and I started listening, I was hearing about these books every now and then. A seeds dropped about these books. I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna try and read one of these books. And one of these books was Think and Grow Rich. And I actually found, this is crazy, I actually found the book because I barely had any money, right? So, you know, I couldn't even buy the book. I found a PDF that someone had put online of Think and Grow Rich, and I printed the whole thing off using the work printer in the factory. I would read these bits of paper, and I could just remember reading it, and that really gave me a really, really good understanding of psychology, because it's amazing. You know, one thing, I think a lot of people ask me this, they say, if you could go back to school and choose something that to study, what would it be? Psychology, hands down. I would study psychology, and history potentially as well. I like history, but because psychology is I believe the most useful tool, especially in business, and 100% in marketing, which is what I do. It's all psychology. I have to understand why people do the things they do, how I can get them to do the things I want them to do. This is all psychology.
Definitely encourage everyone to follow you. You're a truly inspirational human being, and Matt, I really do genuinely appreciate your time, and I'm excited to continue being in your life, helping you, supporting you, and let's do this.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. I really appreciate you as well, bro. Thank you very much for having me.